Good day, my dear ones, and welcome back online EVS1 class. How are you, dear? I hope you are fit and fine. Today we are going to see new lesson. Let's start. Children, many a time we hear of serious accidents, serious mishaps. Mishap means unfortunate accident or unlucky event or accident. So children, we hear that an earthquake happens here, a flood occurs somewhere else, fire catches in this house, a storm occurs in one place. There can be a landslide or a hailstorm, or another place is struck by lightning. So all these are the examples of natural disasters. What is the meaning of natural disaster? Let me tell you. Any sudden natural event which may cause loss of life and damage of property is known as natural disaster. It is also called natural calamity. So children, today in this video we are going to learn about natural disaster in detail. So in simple words, disaster means a very serious mishap or unfortunate accident or unlucky event that causes injury or death of people or animals. Crops and other property is destroyed. Houses collapse. But it's happening naturally. So we called it natural disasters, or it is also called natural calamities. So disasters like earthquake, storm, flood, landslide, hailstorm, lightning are very serious mishap. In these incidents, several people are injured. Some even lose their lives. Animals die. Standing crops get destroyed. There is great damage to property. Day-to-day life is disturbed, and it takes several days for life to get back to normal. These natural disasters occur suddenly, so we do not have any knowledge about when and where they might happen, and it is impossible for us to prevent them, means we can't avoid them. But we must not get frightened by such disasters. Instead, it is more useful to find out how to face such a disaster if it happens. Now, first natural disaster we are going to see is untimely rains. In our country, India, we get rains only in a certain period of the year. In Maharashtra, it rains from June to September. This period is called the monsoon or the rainy season. In Maharashtra, on some day before the start of the rainy season, the sky suddenly gets overcast. Means dark clouds start gathering in the sky. There is lightning and thunder. It rains heavily for a short while. These are called pre-monsoon showers. Means before the rainy season has started, sometimes we get rain, and this is called pre-monsoon showers. So children, monsoon and pre-monsoon showers are good for crops and nature. But when it rains at other times besides the monsoon or pre-monsoon period, such rain is said to be untimely rain. And untimely rain comes without warning. When we do not expect it, it comes. See children, when there is no rainy season, people do not carry umbrellas and raincoats with them when they left their houses. So what happened? When it rains suddenly, people have to run helter-skelter for shelter. It means they have to run here and there to search for or to see a shelter to protect themselves from untimely rain, or they have to get soaked or wet in the rain. If they do not find any shelter, they have to get wet in the rain. But untimely rains can also cause serious damage. People grow winter crops. Occasional light showers are good for this crop. But if it rains too much, fields get waterlogged. But if it rains too much, fields get waterlogged. Waterlogged means water get collected in the field and the crop may rot, causing much loss. Children, in the last week, we have also experienced untimely rain, and so that mango trees got affected. Children, have you seen often a hailstorm accompanies with untimely rains? Hailstorm, it is a small balls of ice which falls along with rain. Children, you might have seen often a hailstorm accompanies with untimely rains. Hailstone means balls of ice, and hailstorm means storm that produce hail. So many a times with untimely rains, hails or balls of ice also fall. This also we have experienced in the last week, because at some places we got hailstorm with untimely rains. Severe hail causes injuries to people and animals, and it also shatters roof tiles. It also damages vehicles. Sudden heavy fall of hail with untimely rains can damage crops in fields and fruits in orchards. And if mango trees are in blossom and it is untimely rain, the blossoms may rot or fall off. Then what happens? Yes, this leads to a fall in mango production. Now let's see about another natural disaster, that is flood. Sometimes during the monsoons, it rains heavily and continuously for 3 or 4 days. And because of this, the level of water in a river rises. That is, the river gets flooded. If it does not stop raining, settlements on its banks can also get flooded. And do you know children, what happens during flood? Mud houses on the river sides collapse. People and animals may die due to drowning. So flooding of settlements causes problems in everyday life. So during flood, we should go to a safe place at a height and come back only when the flood waters recede. Means when the flood water get less, that time only we should come back to our house. The current of flood waters is very strong, so it is dangerous to swim in flood waters. The next disaster about which we are going to learn is earthquake. Children, if a stone is thrown into a pool of still water, what will happen? We see circular ripples around it. They move to the edges of the pool. As you can see in the picture, we can see circular ripples. We see circular ripples around it. They move to the edges of the pool. As you can see in the picture, we can see circular ripples. And after some time, the waves settle and the water becomes still as before. Exactly the same kind of waves are produced inside the earth. For a few seconds, the ground shakes, and that is the earthquake. Do you know, children, what happens where the earthquake occurs? As you can see in the picture, the roads get cracked, buildings are shaken, things inside the house all fall from their places. Houses that are not strong enough simply collapse into heaps. People get trapped under the heaps and get injured or even lose their life. People get trapped under the heaps and get injured or even lose their life. The most damage occurs near the center of the earthquake. An earthquake also causes injuries or death of animals we keep. Children, remember, when an earthquake occurs, one should not panic. It lasts only a few seconds. Then what should we do? During that time, heavy things around us can fall on us. This can cause harm. So as soon as we feel the earthquake, we should go under a strong bed or table or stand under a door frame. This can prevent injuries from falling objects. Do you know, children, if an earthquake occurs while you are at school, what should you do? You should sit under your desk or bench, and once the quake stops, come out in single file and gather together in the open school ground. Crowding, chaos and stampede can cause more damage than the quake itself. Now let's learn about tsunami. If the origin of earthquake is in the sea, it produces gigantic sea waves, big sea waves, and each wave is the height of a 3 or 4 story building. These waves come with tremendous force towards the coast and crash into the land. These waves are called tsunamis. What is it called? It is called tsunamis. If there are people living on the coast, Where a tsunami occurs, it causes much devastation. Devastation means great destruction or great damage. People or animals who come in the way of these waves are completely helpless. They drown and die. A tsunami comes with so much force that vehicles on the coast, along with the people in them, get thrown away to quite a distance. Vehicles are crushed. People inside get injured or die. The tsunami can also shatter houses and shops on the coast. Do you know, children, in every city and district headquarters, there is a fixed drill to be followed in case of a natural disaster. For example, few years back, we have drill on fire for our school teachers. In that, volunteers showed us how to use fire extinguisher. There are specially trained volunteers for that purpose. If necessary, soldiers of the army are also called to help. So children, this is all about natural disasters. This lesson is taught to you so as to make you aware of the various natural incidents or disasters that occurs and how to prevent the loss and not to panic and get scared. I hope, children, you understood the lesson well. Read the lesson at home and try to solve the questions given under this lesson.